What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, of course, we're seeing ADA make some fantastic moves, so let's see what all is going on. Of course, with our daily update, I'll give you guys my expectations, anticipations, and more. So what we saw was a retracement here, and we were making a video during this big red candle, and I laid out three different important levels of support that I would love to see us hold before I anticipated a further fall back down into the $2.25 to $2.30 region. Well, support level number one was going to be at 255, of course, just at our 382. Support level number two was going to be where our previous all-time high was, right here. And support level number three was at $2.42. I said that if we were unable to hold all of these three, to expect a more continuous drop down to the bottom side. Well, one thing we did see is that we came right down to support level number two, established some support here, re-cleared our previous level of support. That was, of course, going to act as resistance, and that's a sign that, of course, support had been established. Well, now what we're seeing is the working up. We're seeing the price start to reclimb, and so, of course, there are a few more steps before we can get too excited. So let's talk about what those are and then what I'm expecting if we start to clear some of these steps. So what we're seeing right now is a few great bullish signs that say that this might be a great push up to the upside that may allow us to surpass this all-time high. But of course, like I said, there are things we got to do before we get there. Now, some of those great bullish signs that we can see is going to be our hidden bullish divergence, in which we can see right here, in which we see the price setting these lower lows. Boom, setting these lower lows here. While also on the daily charts, the price is setting higher lows. Now, of course, this does give the RSI time to cool down. As we are falling, we're setting these lower lows, giving ourselves more momentum and more room to work to the upside, while not seeing the price falling to these lower lows, meaning that there is still that upward potential, that there is still that room to grow here for us to be able to see this growth here, set these new higher highs, and continue back upwards. Now, of course, one thing we do want to watch out for is that we are still seeing bearish divergence on the top side. This has been a common trend within this uptrend, is that we're seeing bearish divergence on the top side. So when we go to set these highs, we're setting lower highs, but going down to set lower lows, while setting higher lows and higher highs, which just means that on the top side, there's downward pressure to push the price back down. So we're not really seeing that big exponential move, but we're not falling dramatically because it's hidden by this hidden bullish divergence is pushing us right back up. And so it's kind of just like been a little game of back and forth there. But other than that, also, if we do go down to the hourly time frames, one thing in which we can see is we're about to get a few great bullish crossovers happen right now between the 20 EMA and the 50 and the 100. Unless the price just absolutely gets smashed right now, it does look like we're going to see that crossover. And generally, in the short term, that's a great sign that we're going to continue to see some upward momentum. Now, do remember that these crossovers are lagging indicators. They're more of just a confirmation more than anything. They don't really foreshadow for sure that the price will 100% continue, but it's a sign that, okay, bullish momentum is definitely on our side. And so with that, as we do have some great bullish indicators in the works right now, and we can see they're operating, what do we need to see happen now? You know, what's next? Well, next up, first and foremost, you guys do know that I'm looking for this thing to clear our 786 on the top side. So what that's going to look like is if we take our swing high to swing low, our previous swing high from August 23rd to our swing low that was set right here at $2.47 on August 26th, we're just going to go here, down to here. And so what the game looks like now is that we need to clear 786. The 0.786 represented by a price of $2.86 is our most crucial level here. We absolutely want to clear it. Now, if we see a bit of a retracement here, I honestly wouldn't be too concerned there, as one thing we can see is this cup and handle pattern forming. And so even if we do go to form that handle, definitely look for support to be reestablished on one of these levels, maybe 272 to 270 before upward continuation, or we may honestly just absolutely smash through it and continue upwards. But no matter what the process looks like, we want to clear this level. I personally will not be, confident that we are going to continue to set new all-time highs until we are able to break above this and establish one or two closes above it before continuing upwards. Okay, I want to see that support establishment get there, or of course the surpassing of this high before I can get even remotely confident. Now, the reason that I say that is because typically speaking, when we see moves like this, there's still the chance that we start to create some type of symmetrical triangle or some type of consolidational pattern. So what that would look like in terms of this is that we come down, we establish support, we come up right into our 786 to 618, but we find resistance and then we start to work our way back down. right? That's what happens quite often. We'll see this, we'll come back down, establish some support, we'll go back up, establish resistance, support, and we start to create that pattern there in which we're going to have a breakout to the upside. Well, personally speaking, I don't like to buy within consolidational events. I just simply don't like it because I don't like having emotions. I like to buy on confirmations and breakouts. And what the confirmation or breakout looks like to me is when we clear that 786, surpass $2.86, establish some support, then my next price target is going to be $3.11. I honestly do believe that if we do establish some support on this region right here, that we will be able to work our way up to $3.11. And so with that, that would be definitely a great short-term opportunity in my opinion. Now there is always that chance that we do come up, we wick here, we never get the closes up here, and we continue back downward. And so that's why I'm so adamant on establishing support, seeing some closes, and confirming that we have surpassed this and will hold above it. Okay. Now, if we do see this thing start to roll over here, where I would expect the price to go down to is right back into our Fibonacci retracement zone on the downside. And let me show you what I mean. So if we do see the price start to roll over, look for this move to happen. We go from swing low up to wherever the swing high is. Say if the swing high is just set exactly where it is right now. Be looking to see that the price comes back down right to about 260 to 250 right here and starts to work its way and find some support in this region. If that is the case, one can go to definitely say that we're going to start to create this type of symmetrical triangle pattern there, in which we're then going to look for a breakout, and of course in the bull side or the bear side. So definitely do pay attention to that. That is my assumption, that again, if we do start to roll over, we may start to form the handle for this cup and handle pattern, or we may simply just start to create the symmetrical triangle, in which we will have to address if that time does come. So overall, things are looking definitely very, very good. I'm excited to see that we are seemingly finding some support on this region, especially the fact that we were able to recapture our 200 EMA. That was the first time we've revisited in a while, and since we revisited last time, we were able to use that as support to work our way up to set a lot of new highs. And so I would definitely like to see a very similar movement happen here. So again, last but not least, the thing that we want to see is if we go swing high down to swing low, that we are able to surpass $2.86 and establish some support on top of it. If we're able to do that, I'm definitely expecting one more good run, maybe one more good run back to the upside with the short-term / relatively conservative price estimate of $3.11 with a little bit more of a exciting estimate of $3.30 there. So definitely do pay attention to these levels. Look for that rollover, and if we do see that rollover, again, do expect a possible fall back down to like the 260 to the 270 to the 260 range to begin with. But of course, I will address that if that does happen with a secondary update coming as soon as we see a big move. So with that being said, again, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Just a brief little update, just a brief little recap. You guys do know that this is something that we track every single day, so not every single video is going to be 10, 12, 13 minutes long, but I do want to make sure that you all are staying up to date as possible and understanding what levels I'm looking out for and whether or not it's a great time to buy, in my honest opinion. So with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Peace.